Hey, thanks for joining us. This is Calling All Cupids, where you play matchmaker. We all have those friends and relatives who have been on and off the dating apps with no luck. We're Sue and Tamar, and we're trying something different. We're not matchmakers, although Tamar did set me up with my husband.
Every episode, we present someone looking for love, a love seeker. We chat with them and those close to them. This is where you come in. You're our Cupids. If you have someone you know who is a catch and you think would be a good fit for our love seeker, reach out and let's see if we can make a love connection. Hey, Sue.
Hey, Tamar, how are you?
Good. How are you?
This may be the longest that we have not spoken since we started working on this together.
I know. It's been what, like 36 hours or something?
But really, it feels like we haven't worked
I
for a
haven't
while.
checked in a
Yeah.
while. Yeah.
So what's new with you?
I visited our friend Jennifer in Baltimore. Actually, not Baltimore. I guess it's more like Annapolis. And it was lovely. We took a boat out to dinner over the bay and into Annapolis. And then we kayaked the next day. And it just
Nice.
was lovely to be on the water and get away for a bit. How
Oh,
about you?
nice. Well, last night I did an open mic stand-up comedy.
That's cool.
Very cool, kind of cool. It was harsh. I have done stand-up comedy several times, but it's always been as part of like a class that leads to a showcase. Last night, I went to a venue that is trying to do comedy. It was not crowded. It was a lot of students. And my material, I'm a 58-year-old menopausal woman going through cancer, talking about divorce and adoption issues. And I just must have seemed like they just did not know what to make of me. And I fucking did it anyway. And the people that got it, responded. But man, it's humbling to get
Yeah.
in front of a group of people and have them just look at you.
Blank stares.
But I think I did okay. And
Yeah.
I'll do it again. But man, it ain't for the faint of heart. I'll tell you that.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for putting yourself out there and doing it. That's great.
I have to have other things to focus on than my cancer.
Right.
Like this podcast being, one of the best things about this podcast for me is that it's such a great brain space to be in. Like
Yeah.
thinking about our love seekers, to be thinking about fixing people up. It's all so much joy and love at a time when, to be honest, it's a much better place to be than hanging out on Facebook and following what's going on in the world.
Yeah, that's for sure. Hard
Yeah.
times. Yes.
Hard times.
Well, then let's switch gears and go into our happy place
Yes.
of love and unicorns and rainbows and hearts.
Absolutely.
So today we're going to feature Sarah. Sarah is 30.
Yes.
30, and she is our good friend Suzanne's daughter. You know, I use Sarah as my North Star in a way. I often, when I have a tendency to want to fix everything that's wrong in my kids' lives. And the minute there's a problem, I want to jump in and offer a solution, offer advice. And it's often not welcome. And what I've tried to do is imagine in my head that what if my daughter, I think of her more as if she were one of my friends' daughters. And the person who comes to mind for me is Sarah. And I imagine if Sarah called me in the middle of the night and said, I need help, I'm on the next plane, I'm in the car, I'm sending, like whatever she needs, I will do for her. But I would never in a million years offer her advice, tell her what I think she should wear or what I think she should do. I'm just not going to offer her advice. And I try when with my own daughter, I try to go to that headspace of I love you, I care for you, I will do anything for you, but I'm not gonna offer unsolicited advice. I have to say sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I think it's a good guideline. And Sarah, that's sort of just an indication of what Sarah is to us, I think, how close we feel to her.
And also, she is just enough older than our daughters that we can see that, we have seen so much growth and maturity in Sarah from when we knew her in her early 20s to where she is now, which I think also gives us a lot of hope.
So let's dive in and let's hear Sarah talk a little bit about herself. Let's just say so she's 30. She lives in Philadelphia. She works in public health policy. That's her field. She's got a master's degree. And
And she's Jewish, and that's very important to her. Let's not
good
forget
point.
that. She would, and she's also looking for, a more traditional couple. And how do I want to say it? A relationship with another person who cares about Judaism and raising a Jewish family. Would you say that's true? Am
Yeah,
I
I
stating
would
it?
say that's true.
I think she
Yeah,
says that. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, let's go to our interview with Sarah. Hey, Sarah.
Morning.
Oh my God, you're so cute.
Ah, thanks.
Hi, Sarah.
Sarah, tell us a little bit about you, where you grew up, what you've been doing, how old you are, things like that.
Yeah. So I am 30 years old. I grew up most of my life in State College, Pennsylvania. I have an older brother, mom, and a dad. After high school, I went to James Madison University where I studied health sciences. And then I went on to serve a year with AmeriCorps in New York, where I was working at a wellness center. And then I served in the Peace Corps, where I was in Peru, where I was a community health worker focusing on women and children and malnutrition up in the mountains in Peru. And that, really sparked my interest in, health systems, especially international health systems, and the lack of infrastructure and care that a lot of developing countries don't have. And so I went on to get my master's from Brandeis University, where I studied global health policy and management. And with that, I've been able to have, really exciting jobs within health policy and the care continuum, and making sure that people who need health insurance, who need coverage, who need access to drugs, devices, certain treatments are able to get that and not be spending a lot of money out of pocket. So I'm really passionate about healthcare and positive healthcare coverage. And now, I've recently moved to Philadelphia where, I just wanted to experience a new city. I previously lived in Washington, D.C. and Boston. So moved to Philadelphia in hopes to, kind of start over a little bit here, meeting new people, hoping for a new career change soon and, to find a partner.
Sarah, you brought up something that I think, I was thinking about how we were going to be talking to you, and I was thinking of the word that I would choose to describe you would probably be grit.
Hmm.
How does that feel to you? Does that feel true? Does that feel good? And can you talk about that?
No, I think I've never heard someone describe me in that way. I think that's good to hear. And I think, if that resonates. Yes. I think a lot of things have been thrown my way and I've been able to overcome a lot of challenges and hardships and adapt to new situations and experiences while keeping my head held high, like finding the positives, even when it doesn't seem like there are many positives happening.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your relationship past, whatever you feel like sharing about what you've experienced, where you are, what you're looking for.
Sure. A little bit about experience. I would say definitely more long-term relationships is what I've had, what I'm looking for someone who's really just like kind and genuine, someone who can make me laugh, but also has depth to them. Really value curiosity and someone who's open to learning and growing, both in life and in a relationship. They have to be passionate about something, whether it's a cause or hobby or work, just I need someone who I can be real with and who can be my partner in both the fun and just like the everyday stuff. Want that long-term relationship that's going to lead to marriage. And yeah,
Do you want kids?
I do.
Okay. And does your partner need to be Jewish?
I would prefer that, someone who understands the culture, the holidays, why we are the way we are in certain, like scenarios, but I would prefer Jewish.
Okay. What do you think you bring to a relationship?
Oh.
On the spot, huh?
Let's see. What I bring to a relationship, definitely fun. I bring a lot of fun. I hope I bring a lot of fun to someone's life, curiosity, like wanting to learn, like what they're interested in. I want to learn about that. I, you know, I feel that I bring good communication skills when, in a relationship, when speaking with someone, I am a good listener and I really just like their success is my success. And I really like value that. And like, I feel that, like I really emulate that with someone.
Cool. What do you think were some of the challenges in the past where things didn't ultimately work out?
Definitely communication, not maybe not checking in with each other as much to see like, why are you feeling down today? Like, what is this leading to? Like, are there more like, am I not aware of things that are happening? Like when we're not together, or even when we are together, that could help us communicate better. And I also think some like previous challenges have been like someone not just wanting to commit or take the next step. And while I've communicated that with people, like, we're like people are looking for fun and just let's see where things go. But my mindset is marriage. Like, are we headed there or not? So just making sure that you're on the same page really from the beginning has been an issue.
What are some of your hobbies? What are the things you like to do?
I really enjoy running. I think it'd be important in a future partner who will keep up with my crazy running schedule of maybe going out for a 4-hour run. If I'm training for a marathon, I want someone who's going to be, running with me or like my biggest supporter with running. So running is a big hobby. I really enjoy crocheting. I like making projects. I like making my own clothes and a lot of like things for people. So some like DIY projects. And I also enjoy baking and cooking, like making things in the kitchen and sharing that with people.
Sarah, I want to marry you.
Everyone should want to marry me.
Except for the running.
Except for the running. I could be your support.
Sue, do you want to ask Sarah some rapid fire questions?
Yeah, I do, Tamar. Funny you should mention that. I just happen to have a couple rapid fire questions right here. What's on your nightstand?
Hand lotion, tissues, and a book.
What book?
It's called Cultish, why we're fascinated with the idea of cults and how the language draws you into them.
Oh, interesting. Okay. What's the first concert you ever attended?
Jonas Brothers.
That's great. If you had to eat only one thing, which would be so sad going forward, what one food would you choose?
Sushi.
What's one thing about you that surprises people?
That I'm fluent in Spanish. You wouldn't guess it by looking at me.
No, you would not. What's an ideal first date?
I would say nothing that's longer than an hour. So no sit down meal, too much time there. Maybe a walk, like you grab a drink together. Maybe you meet at a museum, you meet at an event happening, so it's not too much one-on-one time, but maybe there's something else going on that you can like have a conversation about.
I think that's really smart.
So, Sarah, what we're thinking we're going to do is try to tap into the Mahjong network.
Love that.
Because you're in Philly and our co-producer, the other Sarah, is also in Philly and plays Mahjong. She's another young woman playing Mahjong. And we are betting that among all these Mahjong women, they must have some single sons.
They must. They must.
So we're really hoping that we can tap into that. And the beautiful thing about that is it's a full circle moment, because your grandmother is the one that really, we would not be sitting here today if it weren't for your grandmother, because she is the powerhouse that taught Mahjong to half of State College and taught Sue and me and your mom. We've all become really, really, really great friends through that. Yeah. And here we are today. So we're hoping Mahjong will once again show up for us and find your grandma her granddaughter's match.
I feel it. I feel like it can happen like that.
Yeah.
And she'll know.
She'll know for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
Well, this is so exciting. Keep spreading the word about us to people. And
I will. I'm talking about you guys.
All right.
Fun.
We'll talk soon, Sarah.
Thank
you.
Bye.
Yeah, have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too.
So that was Sarah. And now we are going to hear from her sister-in-law, her brother's wife, Ariel. Let's see what Ariel has to say. We are so happy to have you here. Today, you're here to tell us a little about Sarah, who you think would be a good fit for her. And, let's just start there. What do you envision for Sarah?
So I envision for Sarah, Sarah is extremely motivated. She has just this sense of determination where if she says she's going to do something, if you blink, she's already done it, or she's already done it 6 times. Right? Once she sets her mind to something, like that's it. And it has brought her to so many places, brought her on the Peace Corps. It's brought her to so many different cities. She's now in Philadelphia. She really is extremely motivated and extremely independent. And what I think would be fantastic for her is to somebody who appreciates that type of motivation and independence, but also someone who maybe could challenge her a little bit too. Because I think that's important.
Do you see a certain career type of person for Sarah? Like, do you see her being with an entrepreneur, a finance bro?
Oh, not finance bro. Honestly, I don't want to have to deal with that at like family. Personally.
Hey, Ariel, we're choosing for Sarah, not your brother-in-law. Ariel's like, who do I want as my brother-in-law?
So definitely somebody who is educated. So I would say, Sarah has her bachelor's and her master's. I would say for Sarah, at least at the bachelor's level, she is extremely intelligent, and I would want somebody who could also keep up with her and also who wouldn't necessarily feel threatened by her. So I could definitely see somebody trying to think because I only really hang around lawyers, which is its own problem. But so again, definitely somebody who is educated and also I would say worldly. Sarah has done
Okay.
a lot of travel, and I think that's also important to her. And it's important that whoever that is whoever is with her is somebody that appreciates that and also is going to want to go on those kinds of adventures too, and has the means to do so. In the end, I would say that Sarah is not necessarily very superficial in the sense where it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody who, like, let's say, makes a lot of money. I think that she does not put a ton of weight on that, but I think that she would put a lot more weight on whether or not you are, successful in your field, whatever that does mean, but also having that education behind it.
Makes
So I think
sense.
she would be okay with somebody, in the nonprofit sphere who maybe is, highly educated and highly ambitious, but maybe just doesn't have a super high income, as long as that's somebody who potentially could, you know, keep up with her and keep up with the things that she finds important.
That makes sense. What do you think she brings to a relationship in terms of personality? What are the great things about her that would make her somebody wants to date?
She is so much fun. She is always down for an adventure. She also somehow, I've lived down here in the city for over 10 years, and she was just recently living down here in DC. And whenever I would talk to her, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, I was at X event, or I found whatever market." Or I was like, how did you find out about these things?" And she'll even just go to things on her own and be like, "I'll figure it out when I get there, or I'll meet somebody when I get there, or I'll make a friend when I get there." And I think that's really, really brave that she is willing to go out and just do her thing without necessarily feeling like she has to have somebody with her or somebody to lean on. She's extremely independent, and I think that that's a really important part of a relationship, is that you can still be your own person. You can come together with somebody and enjoy things together, but also you can still very much be your own person. You're not necessarily dependent on somebody else for your happiness. And I think
Yeah.
that she makes her own happiness, and I think that's something that's really fantastic about Sarah. So she's a lot of fun. She's really adventurous. She'll kind of be down for any kind of adventure or anything you want to do, and she'll just make the process so much more fun.
Cool. What about on the flip side? What are some of the challenging sides of her personality?
You get me in trouble. So I would say that in that area of ambition, she can also be stubborn. So in that idea of where if she says she's going to do something, she does it. And there's also, I think, an element of, and good luck trying to talk her out of it. So I think that there is some level of stubbornness there.
Okay.
That could potentially be a more challenging part of her personality. However, I think that goes along with she's ambitious, she's self-sufficient, etc. And I
Right.
think that you can't be any of those things without being at least a little bit stubborn.
Yeah. So she either needs somebody who's a total pushover and she can just call the shots, or she needs somebody who's super strong and she'll find her match.
Honestly, I think that she should be with somebody who is super strong and should find her match. I don't think that having everything going one way is a good thing. I don't think that a pushover would be good for her because she would know it,
Yeah.
right? She's smart. She
Yeah.
would know that this person is just giving in no matter what. I think that she would be better with somebody who can stand up to her personality and have a personality of their own, and the two of them can just be unstoppable against the world.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that.
Oh my gosh.
I think she's a one of a kind person. And I do think that anybody that has the privilege of dating her is a very lucky person. And I think they also need to know that she is strong and she is independent. And I mean, not you hear about a strong, independent woman, but that is who she is. She makes her own decisions, and I think she is willing to work with somebody to be able to make in the future certain decisions as a cohesive, as a partnership. I think that is what she is looking for is a partnership, somebody that who she can hold hands with and go out into the world and, in some senses face certain things as a unit, but also without losing herself. And I think that's something that's very important to her. I'm I think she's fantastic. I think she is so cute. I mean, she has like the cutest, like blonde curly hair. I'm always in awe of just how her hair always looks fantastic. When she's like, "Oh, I didn't wash my hair," I'm like, "It still looks great. How did you do that?"
Do you have any funny little stories, like a funny anecdote or something that highlights her personality?
Let's see. There back when, so January 2020, so several years ago, right before the pandemic, she was doing Peace Corps in like a rural part of Peru. And in January 2020, the whole family, me included, we went to go visit her. We went to, we went throughout Peru together, and then we also went to her host family site, and where she had been living for, I believe at that point, over a year. And we saw such a hilarious side of her when she was kind of enmeshed with a brand new family. It was so funny watching her with her new host mom, who was not that much older than we were, actually. But the two of them singing My Heart Will Go On from the Titanic on a karaoke machine, like over and over and over again.
Oh
And
my
we have
God.
videos of this because it was a song that the host mom like knew in English, and they just had kind of memorized some of the different karaoke songs. And watching them duet to My Heart Will Go On in this little house somewhere in rural Peru was so funny. And then also there was like kind of like a dance party afterwards, and everybody was doing these like kind of Peruvian dances, and Sarah's up there with them dancing along and outlasted all of us. That girl has energy for days. I do have one thing I want to show.
Yeah.
Ah,
Do you remember this?
thinking about that. Oh my God.
I made sure to pull it out.
That is hysterical.
Do you know the whole story with this? I think we need to tell this story.
Well, we've been talking about the So Sue segment, right?
Yes, so for people who don't know, Sue, I want to write a screenplay that's a series called So Sue, because Sue has Lucille Ball like moments, I would call it a little bit, where things just go a little wrong and whole things follow. So in this particular case, Suzanne comes to me.
Suzanne being Ariel's mother-in-law.
Yes, and Sarah's mother. Suzanne comes to me and is like, I do not know what to do. Ariel and Jeffrey are baffled. They got Sue's wedding gift and they're fine. They're like totally fine and grateful. They're just a little confused because Sue gave them a little teeny bowl that's like 2 inches wide, and it says Safta. And Safta means grandma in Hebrew. And so, what is that about? Like, is it a hint? Is it? And I'm like, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. She made a mistake. And Suzanne is like, look, I don't want to ask her because if it's not a mistake, I would never in a million years question a wedding gift. And they don't want to question, but they don't even know how to write the thank you card. They're like, thank you for the grandma boat. Like, they don't know what to do. And so I say to Suzanne, here's what we're going to do. Sue's going to come over for Mahjong. We're going to tell her to come into the office because we need to show her something. And then I'm going to say, me, Tamar, I'm going to say, oh, no, Suzanne will say, oh, Sue, Ariel and Jeffrey got the wedding gift. And then I, Tamar, will say, oh, what did you give them? And then Sue will say whatever it was she actually intended to give. So we do that and it plays out perfectly. And Sue's like, oh, this beautiful mezuzah. And then Suzanne is like, oh, that's not what they got. What they got is a safta bowl. And Sue goes, oh, fuck me. Turns out she bought that safta bowl for one of her friends at the same time she bought the mezuzah for you and mailed the safta bowl to you. And I don't know what she did with the mezuzah.
Who the fuck knows? Did you ever get did I ever get you the mezuzah?
Yes, we
Okay,
got
good.
the mezuzah.
Thank God.
Beautiful.
Oh my God.
Never want to question a present. I was just so confused.
Ariel, thank you so much for meeting with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Cupids, just to recap.
Sarah's 30. She lives in Philadelphia. She's in the public health policy field, educated, super fun, runner, looking for a good guy.
Equally motivated, equally successful, equally athletic, really needs, I think one of the things that I really picked up on from things that they said and from knowing Sarah is that she does need somebody that is confident and is also going to challenge her. She has a strong personality. She is not a pushover, nor does she want a pushover. So, we're looking for somebody in his 30s, I would say,
I think so.
professional who lives in Philly area. I don't know.
Although she would consider other areas on the East Coast.
Yes, she's pretty open.
All right, people, this is where you come in. Mahjong ladies, friends, people in Philadelphia, we need you to put your thinking hats on. Who do you know? Nephews, sons,
Straight men only.
straight men, straight men. Reach out if you're interested in potentially matching with Sarah. And
don't forget to go online to our website at Calling All Cupids. There are pictures of Sarah on there. She's adorable. She's spunky. Yeah, go check her out. And don't forget to listen to, if they're new to our podcast, to go back and listen to our other episodes, because all of our love seekers are very different, looking for different things. And you, our Cupids, are who we're counting on to help us find their matches.
Yep. Okay. Good to see you, Sue.
Nice seeing you. Take care.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. If you or someone you know is looking for love, reach out. Maybe you'll be the one to shoot that Cupid's arrow. We present new love seekers every episode. So subscribe to our podcast, Calling All Cupids, and help us grow the love by leaving a review.
Our website is called callingallcupids.com. You can also connect with us on social media. Check us out and help us spread the love.